Yes, guys, let me turn Joel down. It is your girl Cadillac. Yes, I am Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all fades to black. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. Yes, I always got to hold my breath for justice and hope. You gotta hold your breath there. Um, And to be honest, hope is the only thing that I am really like moving forward on in my life. It is a new year. Yes, girl, it's a new year. But you know how we always, new year, new me, this, baby. New year, same me. But I am going to try to perfect some things that uh I gotta teeter with myself some and let God, teeter with me because there's some things that ultimately, no matter how many times the year turn over, these things stay the same. So it can't be according to the year. Like, girl, we got to change now. We need things done now. One issue I have a problem with is uh, procrastination. Now, I do not procrastinate with everything, but I have very high anxiety. I have had a lot of depression, but thank God I have not really been into deep, dark depression where nothing in life even matters to the point where I don't even want to get out the bed type depression since 2009. I have not suffered from that, even in the passing of my mother, untimely death in 2016, wrongful death. I still did not go into a depression. Now, I know it brought me down, and I know that I wasn't my happiest and I was dealing with issues, but I wasn't in that deep, dark depression. So I have suffered with depression since I was a child, really. And it's crazy, like now, this generation knows the terms. They know what they're going through. Like I worked with someone younger yesterday and they literally just was saying I suffer from anxiety, depression and this like they would literally tell you. In my time that was something that you had to hide, especially in the black community. You can't be depressed because you got to lay all your cares on Jesus and he'll take care of them. But I try that many multiple times. I ask God for guidance. I ask God for to take the problems and just deal with them. But the problem still, the effects of the problem are still very difficult for me to get through. You know what I'm saying? So being realistic, humans are still going to feel those problems. You're still going to feel the effects from those problems. So it was almost like I would rather talk to somebody that would say, yes, I love God. Yes, I love God too, girl. But I've been there. I felt like that before. I have felt alone. I have felt like it would never get better. I have felt that way instead of always coming to someone with positivity. Positivity helps sometimes, but at a certain point, there's an issue that you need to deal with, and that positivity kind of just brushes it off. So, me, I'm a realist, which a lot of people try to claim that's negative. It's not negative. I'm telling you what it is. That's like if you ask me what color the sky is. And right now, it's nice and sun is bright. The sky is a bright blue. Let me show you. Look at that beautiful sky. It's bright. The sun, you could tell the warm colors from the sun. But let's pretend it was not such a bright, sunny day. And you asked me what color the sky was. And it was clouds in the sky. And it was dark. And it was gloomy. And I said, it's dark, it's gloomy, it's clouds in the sky. The sky is gray. That's not negative. That's me literally reporting what's happening. So a lot of times I couldn't get the help that I needed talking to people because people just brush it off. Oh, you're just so negative. If you try to be positive, then positive things will happen, which I dispute that as well because I always start out very, 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 very positive. And many times, negative follows that positivity. And then there are times that I went into a situation negative, and negative followed that situation. So I didn't necessarily get a different result because I went into it positively. Positive. Girl, you know what I'm trying to say. I went into it with the best hopes, the best. I wouldn't do half of the things I done in my life. I'm a person that is adventurous. If it's a dream, let's go get it. Let's figure out. Let's figure out how to do this. Let's do this. I go into everything positively. I don't go into it. Oh, I'm gonna try this, but I know it ain't gonna work. Oh, what's the point of it? Why would I put my all into something I know wouldn't work? We can take my YouTube for example. My YouTube, I came back. I really been on this channel since like 2013, going into 14. um I kind of left the channel for a while. I was like doing a lot of hip hop. I was doing ciphers and stuff. I was a female rapper, but my goal as a female rapper was the same goal here, was to break the story of my husband's wrongful conviction, but I wanted to do it through music then, because I felt like music was the media wasn't trying to mess with me, because the news only want to put this certain type of stories on the news. They don't want to put real true stories that reflect the African American community on the news. So they would never put that on I tried. I literally tried to get the story in the news or in a newspaper or some type of way to reach multiple people about this story. And all of them failed because those platforms have certain agendas that my story, Marcello's story, does not fit. We're not the stereotypical Black person. If you're not putting a story out that is basically downgrading African Americans, they don't really want to put that story out. I'm sorry, that's just the reality of the world that we're living in. Um, so I tried to do it through music because I know that African Americans do consume music. And I know that, and me being an African American, I was very influenced by music as a younger adult and child. And I know this generation is no different. But the only difference in my generation, we had positive music. We had negative music too, but we had a choice. You can choose to listen to the positive artist, or you can choose to listen to the ratchet artist, or you can choose to listen to the gangster artist, or you can choose to listen to the knowledge filled artist. You had choice. It's like having Pepsi, Coke, my favorite, Dr. Pepper, Fanta. Oh, shoot, that's money. Hold on. You ready?
Yes.
All right, I'm coming back. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this up. But you had choice. Now, the music, if you listen to it, most music geared towards African Americans that are in mainstream, because it's a lot of underground artists doing positive music, but their music will never see the light of day. There's agenda behind that, though. There's a reason. But our kids have nothing to listen to but the ratchet, stripper pole, um, D boy type. They probably don't even call them D boys no more. That was my 2000s time. But that type of music, that's all that is coming out about dealing with African Americans. So when I started, music industry hadn't quite pivoted yet. It wasn't this digital age. It was still very much with getting spins on the radio and how many copies of albums sold and this and that. It was still in that time, but music industry was going to take a sharp turn, and that's when I tried to get into it, when it was taking that, a little before it took that sharp turn. um And I just couldn't understand why, as good as I was as an artist, as much as I worked on my craft, nobody still wanted. The streets wanted to hear my story, but the people that could actually um, make me a larger artist did not want to hear it. But that is because that what I was saying did not fit their agenda as it pertains to African Americans. Okay, so I went into rap just as I went into YouTube with the highest of expectations, knowing that it's going to work, knowing that, yes, this is a horrible situation you're in, but it can be changed. And with God, it can be changed. God has given me all these gifts and talents, and He can allow me to use them to change, right? To change the situation. Faith without works. So we have to work. But I always come back with, after the end of all my hard work, battle not won. So that's where the doubt comes in. You doubt yourself. Well, maybe I'm not good enough. Well, maybe, people don't like me. People like YouTubers that are beautiful and they'll listen to any garbage that spews out their mouth because they're just simply beautiful. Well, I'm old. I'm older. Got gray hair. I can't always have time to manicure myself. So people don't want to hear my story. You know what I'm saying? So it comes back to beating up yourself. It comes back to you're not good enough. That's exactly sermon that Joel was teaching the other day. I think it was yesterday. But you're not good enough, Keita. You're not good enough for anybody to listen to your story. And those would be thoughts that I just keep to myself, because when you tell them to another, people just, oh, you're just so negative. Be more positive. Then things would change. And I'm like, never mind. I don't even want to talk. Never mind. Okay, but I love that this generation can identify anxiety, can identify depression, and tell you that they have it and feel open and free to do so. My generation didn't feel like that. So I procrastinate when it is something that makes me anxious. When it is something that I feel is going to go wrong, I try to put it off all because I am an overthinker as well. I'm going to think about every reason why this ish is not going to work. And I think too much to the point where I don't act, right? Marcello's the opposite. He going to act and he going to think about it later. There needs to be a in between. You think, but then you got to take action. You can't just overthink and think about every scenario. You just got to play through that scenario. I have got to learn that. And I need to learn it now. It doesn't matter if it's 2023, new year, new me. Girl, now. No matter what the date says. If you look at this video 10 years from now, it's still going to be now that this needs to be done. There's some other issues, but money is waiting for me. So we got to go. We got business to handle because we are trying to get our lives together in this year. I'm 20 something years in on trying to get my life together, girl. But one day, glory be to God, He is going to bless me to have my life the way that He so ordained for it to be. All right. It's your girl, Cadillac.